Clock keeps running. Dan Quinn, now he'll stop it. Now we'll stop it at 3:12. Was thinking about it for a couple of seconds. And we'll take it here before 3rd and 4.
I don't think you're going to see any pressure. I really don't. But man, you're tempted to, because 3rd and 4, and you know what Sean Payton has in that bag of tricks. But from Sean Payton's standpoint now, he's got to say, do I assume this is going to be a zone? Because those are two different plays, right? Obviously, there are adjustments you can make during the course of the route. But the success that they've had tonight, Washington, on defenses, coming in zone defenses, but so many times tonight we've seen Evan Ingram just pop wide open on that little release route for an easy first down in a key moment.
Interesting chess game here. Washington's looking to see what personnel Sean Payton put on the field. He's so masterful at different personnel groups. They're matching it with how they want to play this.
Yeah, they're coming out with 3 wide receivers.
And Prentice, the fullback, as the lone back there to protect or release. He had a catch earlier in this quarter. Timeout, Denver. So Washington had the answers. Denver did not. 2 left for the Broncos. So isn't it fun when one team has lost this many in a row, 6 in a row like Washington has, and Denver's won 8 in a row? You're like, this game isn't going to be good. But every December you see these games end up being close, and it just speaks to culture and what's going on in locker rooms and in franchises, how much you play this well, even with a bad record.
Yeah, and Terry McLaurin's return, I think, definitely has been a factor. Bobby Wagner's having a big game out there. Jerron Payne. So some of the veteran guys that are the reason you bring those guys in, because you know they'll never quit. Yeah. They may not be as talented as they once were, but they'll never quit, and we've seen that out of Washington tonight.
And if they can get a play here, they'll have a chance to come back and end that losing streak. Denver trying to keep it rolling, get to 10-2. Wagner with the last word for Jacob Martin. 3rd and 4. They only bring 3. Nixon's throw is incomplete. They drop Martin back there to get in the way of Cortland Sutton, and Denver will punt it away with 3:09 to go.
Not only did they not blitz, they simply are going to drop back underneath, not just make it a 4-man rush. It was a 3-man rush with Martin going to the exact spot where the ball was going. That is just tremendous defense on the part of Washington, and let's give Dan Quinn credit. Once again, he had the right answer.
Lane had a 90-yard touchdown return on a punt earlier this year against Las Vegas. Crawshaw hits it. Lane's got it at the 15-yard line. Cannot get away from the initial tackle. J.L. Skinner on special teams makes it a long field for Washington. Great play.
Tremendous. And Antonio Hamilton, the other number 34 chasing, was upset with himself that he failed to make that block.
Skinner and Devon Key have had an outstanding special teams season for Denver and come up with that one that makes it a long field now for Marcus Mariota. 3 minutes, 1 timeout, and they start at their own 15.
In 4-down territory now, so you understand going into it that you have an additional down.
Mariota stepping up, firing for Burks, incomplete. Burks trying to draw the flag after the ball was gone with Surtain. Nothing doing 2nd down.
I don't know how many more I would throw at Surtain on this final drive, because this drive might end on one throw. Look at him, man coverage, and what it allows them to do is no matter where he is, he can take away your best, and then you slide to help everybody else. Just a game changer since he's been back in the lineup.
We're seeing guys slip out of their breaks here with this newly laid down sod. 2nd and 10. Great get off by Benito. Mariota going the other way. Got a first down. At the 26. Hit on the sideline. No flag. Gain of 11. Clock stops at 2:49.
Same thing, Mike. You get in those situations where you try to get fancy with your rush, you dip inside, and you leave the edge open. You can't do it in these situations. You know it's a hurry up. You cannot give a mobile quarterback like Mariota that kind of edge.
Jonathan Cooper, Nick Bonito, those edges. You've had a great year. They get off at the top by Bonito. The throw to Burks. Incomplete. Riley Moss at the coverage. 2nd and 10.
Maybe one of the biggest statistics of this night in my mind is that Riley Moss does not have a pass interference call on those deep throws. Those are plays earlier this year he has consistently been getting penalized. Give him credit. He's cleaning it up. No foul so far tonight.
Well, for 9 DPIs, defensive pass interference flags this season. 2nd and 10. Mariota putting it up top and deep for McLaurin. Nothing going there. Surtain right with him, step for step. 3rd and 10, 4-down territory, 2:38 to go.
But that does help. If you're a receiver and you've thrown something deep, and Vance Joseph knows this as well, that now you know they're willing to take that kind of shot. So defensively, in your mind, you don't want to be the guy that gives up a 75-yard touchdown to lose the game. So you get a little extra space after a throw like that. Where they are all up here in a blitz look.
Seven across that line. Now 5 as they drop back. Underneath, the throw is caught right near the line. Let's see the mark. It is marked short with Ertz. 4th and inches. Clock running. Offense stays out.
Snap it. Snap it. Don't wait for them.
Mariota goes to the gun. Inside give. McNichols has the first down. 38-yard line. And Washington will likely see this run down to the 2-minute warning. See Dan Quinn smile. He loves that his team's competed here tonight. Trying to be the 8th team in this week 13 to pull off an upset. Can they do it? Or will Denver win a 9th consecutive game? Final 2 coming up. Washington down 3. Right after the game, Chevrolet postgame. Melissa with the stars of the game. We'll look at the big storylines from today. Preview next Sunday. All coming up after the game. Washington Commanders trying to do to Denver what Denver has done over and over this year. A comeback in the 4th quarter to tie or win the game. They're just under 30 yards out of reasonable field goal range. And the 37, Mariota in the middle. That was caught at midfield. Zach Ertz with the grab. First down, Commanders.
One thing you know about Zach Ertz is that he can handle the pressure. He's the guy that had the big 4th down catch and the winning catch in the Super Bowl for Philadelphia.
Get a whistle here and a flag for illegal motion on Washington with a running clock in the last 2 minutes. Would come with a 10-second runoff. The question now is, does Sean Payton want that? Sean likes to just take his time and go through all of this to get the call right and the decision. He likes to have control of the game. And here's Lan Clark. Land's
laughing.
Well, he's talking on the communication amongst the officials to the official staying next to Dan Quinn to ask what he wants to do.
False start. Offense number 17. 5-yard penalty. Still first down. Washington is elected to take a 10-second runoff. Clock operator, please set to 1 minute and 29 seconds and start on my signal.
Yeah, McLaurin's going to be the receiver at the top. Let's see much here. Let's see. Is he not set for a second? No, he is. Wow. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
We'll be set to the end of the play and 10 seconds to be run off. Clock operator, please set to 1:31.
That's not a foul. I mean, it's really not.
Thank you.
Yeah, unless that's the wrong number.
What? No, it's right in front of the official who blew it dead.
Yeah.
You could see him running in. And yes, there was a moment where he got set, but I don't think at this point in the game that's a foul.
So inside of 90 seconds now. Mariota first and 15 with time. Throws it away. Everybody covered, gets rid of it. 1 minute 17 to go.
Terry McLaurin is just having a nightmare of a time with this newly laid sod, I guess, and staying on his feet. It has been slipping and sliding, and it is tough.
They call intentional grounding here. Lane Clark just put a flag down back by the quarterback. Again, he slipped and fell. The ball was thrown. He had a lot of time in the pocket. Did not get himself outside of the pocket, if that's what Clark is saying. And this has lost it down with it. We'll look at it as they sort here. Exactly what happened. And then the 10-second runoff is involved on this as well.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 8. A 10-yard penalty with the loss of down. Second down.
The route's up here, this hook, and then when McLaurin went down and
By
it
rule,
sort of
10
messed up
seconds
the
to be run
timing of
off
the
the
route.
clock.
And I do
Clock
think
operator,
Mariota at
please
that
set.
point said, I'm just
1
getting
minute,
rid of it
7
here.
seconds.
Threw it over his head. I guess he just threw it too far.
Terry McCauley?
So this is absolutely not grounding, guys. He throws it over the head of number 17, who is outside the numbers. By rule, that is not intentional grounding.
So it's a couple backing up Washington here. First 5, then 10. Back to their own 35-yard line. Washington sideline very upset with not just the 2 flags, but also the administration of it here.
And they are talking about it again.
Well, what they're asking is what down it should be, Terry, here with that intentional
It'll
grounding
be
call.
second down with the loss of down. Second down.
Which goes back to Ertz making the first down catch around midfield. And then the McLaurin penalty made it first and 15, so now it's second and 25. So that is correct, and a good job by the Washington sideline to be alert to that. Now they still have to get to the 40 for a first down and around field goal range. So a lot to do, couple of plays, up for McLaurin, it's broken up. And incomplete. And it's Riley Moss, the off-targeted corner, with the PBU.
Just perfectly timed out by Riley Moss. Good for him. This secondary, this defense, they're making plays when they have to in the clutch, and it's not just their superstars doing it. That's when you know teams like this have a chance. When I say you have a chance of winning it all.
Timing good there. 4-man rush coming for Denver. 3rd and 25. Mariota trying to get away. Keeps it alive. Finds McLaurin. And they'll have a shot at it. Have a shot to pick up the first down. Is 4th down and about 5 at the 45-yard line. Clock stop, 52 seconds remaining. Again, McLaurin, who has been out for a while, trying to catch his breath. Missing a quad. Well, missing the games because of a quad injury, so he's got to come to the sideline after that one, so they don't have their biggest threat on the field for the biggest play of the night.
So you basically are thinking about Deebo Samuel, but tonight it's been Zach Ertz open the most in these situations.
They're both inside. Here comes the pressure. Picked up for now. The throw inside. It's caught by Ertz for the first down. Right around the 36-yard line. In field goal range for Moody. 38 seconds left. They erased 3rd and 25. Denver brings heat again. The Mariota throw is caught by Samuel. He's pulled down just shy of the 25-yard line. Washington has a timeout taken here. 26 seconds to go. We have a flag, though, on the far side. So in all of this craziness, yet another flag, this one on the opposite side of the field.
There was a player that ran on the field for Denver only about 2 steps and then ran back off the field right before the snap of the ball. I think they've got too many men on the field.
12 players on the field. Defense. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
So that leaves the ball at the 27-yard line. And the flag gives Washington a chance to catch their breath as the clock stops at 26 seconds.
All the way up here on the top.
Yep.
Is where that extra guy came on and went right back off. But now you go and start talking about winning the game if you're Washington.
Because they were getting ready to take a timeout. Got a chance to get themselves
Clock
collected.
Please set the clock to 31 seconds. 3-1.
Get some extra time. Keep that timeout, Chris. So everything's available to Washington.
And they also got Terry McLaurin back on the field here.
Again, Jake Moody is in his first game kicking for the Commanders. In field goal range, what can they do? Deebo Samuel trying to work on the outside. The 21 and the 20. And pushing there is forward progress stop. Clock running and stop now with a Washington timeout.
Yeah, you got to take the timeout there. Because with 22 seconds, you still have a chance to work the middle of the field here and just have plenty of time to get up and get it clocked.
And now with no timeouts, you've got to be ready in case something does happen inbounds for that fire drill of a field goal to run everybody out. You hope they have time to spike it, stop the clock, and stay calm. But again, we tell you the story of Zach Triner, who's played 84 games in the NFL. 3 with Miami last year. He's been in a couple of camps this year. However, he had to be added to the roster. I was added to the roster late on Friday when Tyler Ott came up with an illness and a back injury. Ott was declared out this morning. So very few opportunities to work with that battery of Triner and Moody, both making their Washington debut. But Tress Way, the veteran, the holder, is the glue to keep it together.
Tell you what, right down here, you've got a matchup you're going to like. That's going to be against Riley Moss. He has a lot of penalties in this situation. You have a receiver who's made a good play.
Mariota taking a shot. Nobody is there. It is incomplete. And they're pointing towards the receiver who is outside the numbers as the intended receiver. So it will be no grounding, incomplete pass. 3rd and 3 as Jaden Daniels watches this play out.
That's what Mariota, he saw the same thing I did. He goes, we're going to take our shot and throw this thing down here. And yet it was Burks who somehow broke it off to the inside, and Mariota was taking a shot to win the game.
McLaurin will be the lone receiver at the top of the screen. Surtain, the defensive player of the year, over there with him. They're going to decide to run here. They don't have a timeout. Mariota tries to get to the sideline, and he does. Whoa, 12 seconds left. They got the first down. That was so dangerous.
Well, the other part of this, if Mariota does not finish going forward and he's going backwards there, if he doesn't do that last lunge, he does not get out of bounds.
That's a really good call by the line judge. Now 12 seconds left. You want to take a shot at the end zone?
Of course.
No timeout, so it's got to be that. Kill the clock, middle of the field, not available.
No sack.
Timeout taken.
Cannot have a sack here against the leading sack team in the NFL, and you're going spread.
Denver.
Here is the run, and you pointed out the end of it so big, Chris.
If he is pushed backwards in the field of play, even if he's pushed backwards out of bounds, that clock is going to keep running. It looks like that's what's going to happen there, but Mariota pushes back forward to allow that timeout to happen. That is a really heads-up and a strong, powerful play for a quarterback running the football. And that was Surtain that hit him, who's a stud.
So you talk about making big plays in the red zone, and you've got Burks. We saw his one-handed catch before. Ertz, who's had so many big plays. The strength of Deebo Samuel, and Terry McLaurin, who's made plays over the years for Washington in big moments. So options here. Denver protecting the goal line. 12 seconds remaining. It's a three-man rush. Mariota throws it out of the back. Nothing came open. 7 seconds left. Do they take one more look at it?
The one thing they've done so well is have those low to the ground throws to Ertz, you know, around the red zone. Just try and drill one in low right on the other side of the goal line. But man, this is getting close. Any sort of forced scramble, any sort of movement.
Play clock's running down here at 13 and 12. They've got to get going quick here.
And Deebo doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, really quick. Got the play clock reset, and just going to throw it over by the cheerleaders. And now they'll go to Moody to try to tie the game and send it to overtime. So Jake Moody, really good kicker during his college days at Michigan. Won the Groza Award that goes to the best place kicker in college football. So good, San Francisco drafted him in the 3rd round. Didn't work out the couple of years there. Cut after the opener this year. Signed with Chicago when they had an injury. 2 games for them. First game for Washington, trying to tie the game with a 32-yard field goal.
Watch the footing here.
Snap was good. Way put it down. Moody tied the game, and we'll go to overtime. OT here in Landover.
Perfect snap, perfect hold, and even the field held up there. That was, we have seen so many people slip tonight.
Ton.
And if you slip on a normal pass route, I was thinking the kicker, he drives in there just as hard as anybody.
Credit to Dan Quinn's team, huh?
Yeah, what a performance tonight. And for Dan Quinn, he basically told us how this game could be won.
Exactly.
I mean, he laid it out. He said, we're going to stay with the run, be consistent, a little safer on defense, some zone plays on the back end, and it's worked to perfection. And now they have a chance in OT.
And Washington will go to overtime for the 2nd consecutive game, as they did in Madrid a few weeks ago. It's been a minute since Denver won an overtime game. Land Clark getting everybody organized. And we'll give the verbal to what you read on the left side of the screen.
Gentlemen, welcome to overtime. We'll play 1 10-minute period. Each team will have the opportunity to possess the ball unless the first team keeps it the whole time or the defense scores a safety. Timing will be like the 4th quarter. Each team will get 2 timeouts. All the replays will come from the booths. If we're still tied at the end of the 10 minutes, the game will be recorded as a tie. Any questions? We're just going to flip the same coin, heads and tails. Heads and tails. What is your call? Tails. Call is tails, and it is head.
We're going to kick that way.
Kick that way?
Kick that way.
You're going to kick?
Yeah.
You'll receive this way.
Kicking that way.
Yes, sir. Washington's choice, they will kick this way.
The mechanics of this have not been smoothed out yet, but you get the idea that Washington wants to play defense. We'll go to the 10-minute overtime. How about more football on this great Thanksgiving weekend? Marcus Mariota filling in for Jaden Daniels. Solid performance here tonight. Takes Washington down the field. 2 field goals from Jake Moody to tie this game at 20. Send it to overtime. Moody, the Washington kicker, has a game-winning field goal in this stadium already this year. But for Chicago, when he was kicking for the Bears for those 2 games replacing Cairo Santos, maybe he'll get another chance to have 2 game winners in the same stadium for different teams.
This game is crazy.
Isn't it? It's crazy stuff.
They got away with kicking that way. That was not supposed to happen either.
That's right. On the coin toss, you don't get both options. And Tress Way just kind of took the steering wheel and just decided to take it and take the direction, too.
Oh, boy.
Should have two separate choices. Once you take one, the other comes up. And with all that, overtime begins. Madej stumbling on the return to the 24-yard line, where Antonio Hamilton Sr. was waiting to tackle him. I mentioned it's been a minute for Denver since they won an overtime game. They've lost their last 5. Their last overtime win was the last Monday Night Football game of 2015. They beat Cincinnati in overtime. Special year for the Broncos that ended up in the Super Bowl in Santa Clara. They hope to do the same this year.
55, Jacob Martin is the best pass rusher so far right now for the Commanders team. He needs it.
On the 24, it is Nix throwing underneath. Space for the back, R.J. Harvey. He's going to get a little assistance to be carried out off his feet to the 36-yard line.
It is interesting, the trade-off. You know, J.K. Dobbins averaging 5 yards a carry, and we've seen pretty good runs tonight out of R.J. Harvey as well. But I think come playoff time, Harvey as a receiving threat late in games might end up being a bit of an edge for the Broncos.
Washington choosing to kick off after winning the toss. That's happened in 7 of the 11 overtime games played this year. Here comes the pressure off the edge. Harvey got enough for the pickup, and Nix smoothly to Troutman, the tight end, to the 48-yard line. Good play all the way around. Denver first down.
Oh, boy, you love this when your rookies actually know what to do. Watch him here. Harvey is going to come over and pick up this blitz from McGee, who is a stud. He is a really tough player. And watch how calmly Bo Nix just gathers himself, steps up into the pocket, looks around, and makes the play.
43 pass attempts for Nix tonight. Pointing at Frankie Louvu. 4-man rush. He's got time. And in the middle, he's got Evan Ingram inside the 20 to the 10-yard line. Big play from Ingram. 41 yards.
Mike, here's the joker again. This is the play they can't stop. Bobby Wagner's a good athlete, but he can't cover these moves inside by Evan Ingram. They just haven't taken advantage of that enough. Even in a zone defense, you still have to be able to make that play, and the throw is so short, it's just easily done.
From the 11, Nix. Inside route complete to Sutton for 6 to the 5-yard line. Denver scored on all 4 trips inside the 20. 2 of the 4 trips with touchdowns.
But this is the danger of playing too much zone defense. It's why you have to sort of be able to change up. And right now, Washington doesn't have the pass rushers to get any pressure, so your zone gets stretched out, your quarterback's comfortable, and they can take those short, quick throws.
Harvey, the running back. He's got it left side and into the end zone for the touchdown. They want to get there. They go left. R.J. Harvey for the 2nd time tonight with a rushing touchdown. Denver by 6.
That was just an explosion of running right there. Right down the defense and barely a finger laid on R.J. Harvey. So, you know, you say you want to see Bo Nix in tough situations. How about that one? Was that a 3-play drive?
Yeah. Really quick. Just took 3 minutes. Extra point added by Lutz. 4 throws from Nix. And that touchdown run. Garrett Bowles, great block too. Buried Frankie Louvu. Gave a clear path for Harvey. Washington needs 7 Dan Quinn's team down in overtime. Back in a minute. Denver's up 27-20 in OT. Under the old rules, we'd be into the Chevrolet postgame, and the game would be over. A touchdown in the opening drive of overtime. Washington now gets the chance to match, and because of that, they'll be in 4-down territory here as they get the opportunity to possess the ball. Samuel lets it bounce in the end zone, so they get the advantage of good field position here. It'll come out to the 35 to start OT. Last drive was 18 plays for Marcus Mariota, 71 yards, and they overcome that 3rd and 25, getting downfield for the game-tying field goal. Now they need to get it in the end zone. And
maybe they caught a break, did Denver's defense, with the fact that basically Denver's offense got the ball there. They could have just left them on the field.
Yep.
You're out there for 18 straight plays. If Washington has the choice, you want to see Denver's defense on the field because they got to be tired.
From the 35, and Mariota with a play action middle shot from McLaurin, who's got it at the 45-yard line, gain of 20. And Washington gets going on the opening play of their overtime drive.
Well, you can just see it, can't you, with Mariota. Since we've seen Terry McLaurin back in the game, just the raw belief that he's going to be exactly where he expects him to be. Here comes Ertz back in the game as well.
Remember, somewhat of a pitch count for McLaurin, trying to preserve coming off the injury for the big plays. He's been targeted 13 times. He has 6 catches. Ertz, who came in, has 10 catches tonight. Mariota taking a shot to Burks downfield. Burks late to recognize the ball in the air with the coverage from Riley Moss, incomplete.
You knew they were going to take another shot at Moss before this thing was over with. And the one thing that it's a little bit surprising is that Moss really has not gotten any help here. We really have not seen that, mostly because of the fact that Surtain's back on the field and he can handle it one-on-one on the other side.
John Franklin Myers got a good jump, dangerously close to an offside on that last play. We'll watch him here on 2nd and 10. Mariota escapes, tries to take off. A lot of Broncos waiting. It's a gain of 4. Singleton and McMillan make it 3rd down and about 6 in 4-down territory. Washington must score to keep this game going. Must score a touchdown.
But these star pass rushers are a little tired after that long drive. And right now, let's give them credit. The Washington tackles have held up pretty well, and Josh Connolly in particular on that right side, he was thought to be the vulnerability in this one.
Play 78 of the night for Washington. Inside and incomplete, almost a game ender. The rookie, Shade Barron. 4th down coming up.
Shade Barron got to play a lot during the course of that time off that Surtain had, but here you are once again. It's 4th down and 5. Sort of who do you trust most at this point? I think you've got 2 choices based on the game we've seen so far, McLaurin and Zach Ertz, or Mariota running the ball.
Ertz is the slot at the top. McLaurin's at the bottom. Deebo Samuel next to him. 4th and 6. Gotta have it. Mariota trying to escape. Does for the minute. Puts it up for grabs. Deflected in the air. Intercepted. Game over.
No. I think they're going to call pass interference.
Oh, it is. In the middle of the field, there's a flag. Broncos start coming on the field. 2 separate flags.
Ran right over the receiver on that one, and that was Jeremy McNichols. Hufanga came flying up, and he batted the ball.
Defense number 9. First down to spot of the foul.
He batted the ball, but right before he batted the ball, he knocked down McNichols. Take a look at it right here.
Yep. Great pickup.
Knocked him down.
So it'll be first down for Washington. And Hufanga says, my bad. First down at the 36-yard line.
There are some exhausted football players out there right now.
Mariota has dropped back to pass 48 times, 2 sacks and 46 attempts. The 36-yard line, he will give it inside McNichols. Good mixer of a run for 8 yards to the 28-yard line.
Mike, I'm going to tell you something, that Mariota's best play of the night was that last one. How he got that ball off. Yep. You don't get pass interference unless you get Mariota scrambling around and somehow making that play.
And he got away from one of the best sack guys in the league,
Absolutely.
in Benito.
Absolutely. One of the plays of the night.
And there's a big list of those. 2nd and 2. Inside again. And Denver stout in the middle. Tillman and Roach. The inside guys take care of McNichols.
Malcolm Roach has made an impression on me on the couple of tapes I've seen of him lately. He is just all heart. That time he's scrambling, crawling, trying to get his hand on the running back going through.
Ertz, bottom of the screen. 3 receivers to the top, 3rd and 4.
Just a 3-man rush.
Mariota puts it up to the end zone, caught by McLaurin. Touchdown! Flag down, back by the quarterback. Let's just make sure.
Offense number 72, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
On the rookie, Josh Connerly Jr.
The pass rushers for Denver get so low to the ground, and you can see Connerly, his right hand was above it, but yes, I understand that's a hold. They're going to call that one. But that is made by the fact that these rushers for Denver can get within inches off the ground, and oh my gosh, what a play to have called back.
Wow. Play clock is running down to 13. It is 3rd down. They've got to get to the 26-yard line, so 2 plays to get 14 yards. Mariota again, shot downfield again. Deebo Samuel is down just shy. He's at the 1. Deebo Samuel takes it to the 1-yard line with Riley Moss in coverage.
They just kept going back to the well. They knew where they had to try to get to. Riley Moss, they couldn't get him beat. They couldn't get the pass interference. And finally, Deebo does get it done. Just one-on-one. There's no help anywhere. It is just Moss. Trust him. He's played well. And for some reason, Moss took a little hesitation step there, like the ball wasn't coming, or maybe it was a back shoulder. And Deebo made him pay.
Wow. Denver takes a timeout here. Denver perhaps trying to preserve, one get rest for their defense, and then preserve time if Washington scores and kicks an extra point to tie the game, or to try to have time to go.
My opinion, if I'm Washington, I'm going for 2.
That's the next
You've
question.
got an exhausted defense over there that's been on the field almost the entire 4th quarter and overtime. I'm going for the win right here if they score.
You're 3-8 also.
Correct.
Washington.
Correct.
First, they've got to score. Jeremy McNichols is the back.
I'm sure they wanted to get that goal line defense on the field, too, with that timeout.
From the 2, McNichols trying to run inside, and Denver's defense makes the first contact. Rosarique getting in among those inside. Rodriguez stopped, 2nd and goal.
All the pass rush ability that this team has shows up in the run game as well. And Ozarique that time just all the way in the backfield. Boy, part of me wants to see a battle between Terry McLaurin and Pat Surtain, one-on-one at the bottom of the screen.
Mariota pulls it, looking for Ertz, who's doubled. McLaurin to the back. Surtain in coverage. It's incomplete. 3rd and goal.
McLaurin that time walked off the line of scrimmage and thought he was going to fool him and then took off. Tried to get him to relax, and Surtain did not relax. There are defensive backs that would have taken a breath there because they are exhausted. It's first game back. He did not.
So now 2 plays. 2 shots to get 3.5 yards. McNichols back in, 3rd and goal. Denver brings a little heat. Mariota throws to the back. Ertz couldn't hang on with Hufanga in coverage. So close, down to 1 play.
Mike, you know what happens on plays like that? You're tired, and you're trying to time up a jump that doesn't go as high as you're used to jumping, and sheer exhaustion sets in. He just didn't have enough to get to where he thought he was going to get to make that catch.
And so, comes down to 1 play again, 4th and goal. Dan Quinn's going to take a timeout. Runs down, he got 2 in overtime. He'll take one of his here with 2:50 to go in OT.
Isn't it amazing just making the tackle? How many times do we see it? It looks like Debo's going down. Did he get in the end zone? No, just short, but of course they're going to score. And now here we are, 4th down.
And just like earlier on this drive, that interior defense for Denver helped set the tone. I guess it's 4th down. It's money time. It's the familiar subjects here for Washington.
Ertz has been so good all night long. Just didn't get there.
10 catches. Look at those hands. Like, come on. Don't fail me now. Maybe he'll get another shot. McLaurin and Debo Samuel, bottom of the screen. Burks and Ertz to the top. Game decider. Mariota inside McLaurin. Touchdown. Going for 2 and the win. Washington will roll the dice.
There's no doubt here's the pick action right there. There was contact made. There was no call.
Ball threaded with the contact. Long drive, 11 plays, 65 yards. And here we go for 2, win or lose right here.
They are
timeout.
Oh,
Denver.
Yeah, I think that's probably as much a let's let them catch their breath as anything else. The defense they showed out there was a zone defense, was a softer defense, which also brings in the possibility of Mariota running this ball into the end zone. Don't know if they'll come back with it or not.
Washington 2 of 5 in their 2-point conversion attempts. Denver has stopped the one they faced this year.
What a slugfest
this has been. Great. It's been great. So many good games all week. Pro and college. And Thanksgiving weekend's about some great football. And these 2 teams have given it to us. Washington's lost their last 6. Denver's won 8 in a row. Those streaks come down to this snap. Jeremy McNichols, the running backs at the bottom, now coming back. Next to Mariota. Washington for the win. Mariota has it rejected by Bonino. And Denver has won 9 in a row.
They had a walk-in touchdown. They had a walk-in touchdown. All they had to do was get it over the head of Nick Bonito, who is known for his sacks, 9.5 on the year, and they had the play called perfectly. The blitz was the perfect setup for it. The total pick was made, and there was no way that wasn't going to be a touchdown or a 2-point conversion.
Nick Bonito, second-team All-Pro last year. One of the top edge rushers. There's the guy who's going to come and open.
There's the defender, Hufanga, who had to come over and watch him get picked. Absolutely wide open for the 2-point conversion and the win, but for Benito's long arms.
Oh, and he gets up too. And as you said, Chris, that's the 86th snap of the night. Benito's been on the field for so many of them in the key spot. Marcus Mariota had such a good performance tonight for this Washington Commanders team. Good performances everywhere on this field.
And if Mariota had it to do over again, he could have thrown it about as high as he wanted to because there was nobody there. I'm sure he saw him and just wanted to get the ball to him, and just give credit to Nick Bonito. He made the play, but I never say I'm proud of a team, but Washington showed up. I'm telling you, they fought their tails off out there tonight against a really good team.
The Denver Broncos' 9th win in a row after trailing at some point in each game. That's the longest streak in NFL history. Dan Quinn's not alone. A lot of guys have been so close. But Nick Bonito and the Denver Broncos come up with big play after big play in the fourth quarter or in overtime. Marcus Mariota came this close to a tremendous comeback win. But instead, Denver goes to 10-2, tied atop the AFC. Chevrolet postgame after this.